ready. I will start you like this.
Now it sounds like the umpire Richard Phelps is on his feet, giving the briefing in customary fashion.
Go.
The guys now know what's coming.
Please.
Need to get the boats lined, straight, blades buried, ready to go.
He really pumps it out, this Phelpsy, doesn't he? You know it's him umpiring the race.
Go!
Oh, there's an adjustment from the South African bowman, James Thompson.
But I think he's got away with that. I think he got the boat straightened up. There's no sound of any bells, so it's not a false start. The boat didn't move forwards as they take away very aggressively up the Buckinghamshire station, avoiding that bird. Great start, I think, from the South Africans.
It's lovely. So cool, James Thompson, actually, to be doing that. Just moments when the umpire sort of said, are you ready? And the world lightweight champions get a fantastic start, and it's their bows, the white Filippi boat, that show just in front. I mean, they are the lightweight world champions, Greg, and of course you've got a heavyweight crew over on the far side. Something like a difference between the crews of about 3 stone. How relevant is that going to be in today's race?
Yeah, it's going to be quite a difference today. I mean, 3 stone, what are we talking in kilograms for our international viewers? Probably about 15 kilos per man.
Yeah.
It's quite a difference, and into a headwind, that sort of difference really matters, because rowing is about leverage. And we see the British double now on the top of the screen, the Leander double, just now being able to make that weight show and lever the boat through into this big headwind. Do
you know, in the headwind, Greg, I know that the winds have been about level on either station, but I would fancy that far station, the Berkshire station today. I don't know about you, how you see the course.
Yeah, well, like you say, the winds tend to come from both stations. So, I mean, I think today the wind is definitely very even. Henley, you get the breeze pretty much shared between the 2 sides. Of course, at times you're sheltered, like at the moment, the Leander boat are closer to that crowd. They get more of the roar from the crowd. Further down the course, it switches the other way and through the middle. The South African crew are going to need to make sure they take every advantage they can to try to come back once they get out past the famous barrier, which is the marker that they're coming turn to now by the ice cream van. We call this the barrier. This is a distance you measure time and speed to, and it signals for me that the next phase of the race, they're just passing it now, that now they get into this quiet, more empty area, and South Africa need to do well and take on their pace through this next section if they're to stay on terms.
So a very good start from the Leander double, the British national squad crew. They are on the right of your picture, as you see from our camera. Just, you can see the mile mark, can't you? You know how far it is. 1 mile, 550 yards this course is. And on the left, the 2 world champions in lightweight men's double sculls. There's the drone just flying up, going to give us some fantastic pictures. There is only one man in Europe who's around that can fly and pilot drones, is qualified to do so safely, and he's here at Henley Regatta, and you're going to be seeing the shots shortly, but it's a close race still, isn't it, Greg?
Yeah, I think when we get the side view, or when we get one of those drone shots, I think we might see that the Leander double have managed to keep squeezing away, taking this advantage. Now the South Africans have really got to dig deep, as we see they're coming to this phase where they are potentially in a position where they're nearer to this side of the river. They need to really try and make it pay. They need to try and get back on terms. I'm thinking that it's possibly a little bit of clear water now, and Collins and Walton will be quite pleased with their work as we're coming down towards halfway.
So a very traditional English scene there, the umpires launch from, I don't know how old they are, but probably over 100 years old. And the tradition of Henley Regatta course, the crowds watching as they have done for over 175 years, but these ultra-modern racing shells in the foreground. The British national squad crew hoping to produce a result in the World Championships this year that will take them to the Rio Olympics, and the South Africans who have fought all the way down the course, and Roger Barrow, their coach, who's done so well. He's coached these 2 men to Olympic gold in the lightweight men's 4 at Dorney Lake, just down the road from here, in 2012. They've come out into the double, and they have now proved that they are the best in the world, as they did in Amsterdam last year. And we have got a race on our hands.
That's right, as you say, we look there at Collins and Walton, but they're certainly not getting it all their own way. Thompson and Smith from South Africa have really hung in with them well. We can see now the form within this Leander double. They're still moving really nicely together, keeping the blades out in front of the bodies and looking to get connected, looking to give it that extra little pull into the headwind. But really they haven't been able to shake off Thompson and Smith, have done a great job of keeping in there.
It's not going to be heartache again for the British. I mean, this is an amazing job that the South African lightweights have been doing. I mean, they were down off the start. I thought they might have suffered being out there on the station, but ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching from wherever around the world, this is absolute class now, because the South Africans have battled back and they've got the overlap on the British. South Africa on the left of the screen, the world champions, two of them won Olympic gold at Dorney Lake in 2012. In the four, that's when each rower had one blade each. And on the right of your screen, the British double, they had missed out on finals this year by a total of something like 0.4 seconds. And the South Africans are moving.
And we saw the South Africans finish so well in Amsterdam on the Bosbaan to become world champions last year. What can they do here as we hit the mile mark and they come into about the last 2 minutes of the race? Will they have the change of pace that they need to get back on terms?
Those South Africans have battled back. They've paid for that move, but it must mean the British might have something in reserve. I think the British look a little shorter now in the headwind. Perhaps that's because they're under pressure, just a little bit snatchy when they put their blades in the water, but their coach Mark Banks will have drilled them into this. They really do have such a positive attitude. All the races this year that haven't had the result, they've been very, very positive about what they've learned from it.
And you've got to wonder what their experience from last year does to them now. Will it make them more determined? Will it make them braver to make sure they hold off this fast finishing lightweight South African double? Or will they have it replaying in their minds that they got rode down last year and that could yet happen again?
So a look around there from the British bowman, John Collins. I was talking to him just before they went out in the water. He looked very cool and relaxed, said we aim to put a lot of distance on the South Africans. Well, they haven't done that, but just an inch is going to be enough to take the final of the Double Sculls Challenge Cup. It's Britain on the left of your screen versus South Africa on the right in the final few strokes.
Yeah, the boys are all going to be hurting here. It's coming down. It's probably about 20 strokes left to the finish line now. They'll probably be counting them off in their heads. 10 strokes. And then step on again, 10 more strokes. But the minds might start to go, so they might not even be able to count to 10 because they'll be working so hard and trying to keep their technique together. And if there's no errors in technique, if there's no major accidents at this point, I think Collins and Walton are going to be able to hang on to this as we come down to the last few strokes.
So the Leander crew, they will have smiles etched on their faces. You won't see it now because they will be in absolute pain. They have a clear water lead. The South Africans spent their all trying to get back on the British in the middle of the race. And it's the Leander Club double, and there will be celebrations when they cross the line. They take the Double Sculls title at Henley. Race number 13. There is a shout from Collins and Walton. A great race from the University of Pretoria crew, the South African. Collins and Walton, just enough breath to give 3 cheers to their opponents in a great race.